Hello, my dear friends. My name once again is Felix Okeke. I'm your marriage counselor and coach. Some time ago, I was in a seminar. I actually was the teacher. I was the counselor in that seminar. And after a whole lot of teaching, a whole lot of questions began to come up. And that was why this question was asked. And I thought the best thing I can do is to share it on this very particular edition. What is that question? Is it right for married couples to engage in oral sex? Is it right for married couples to engage in oral sex? And I will answer that, and I will also give us some of the tidbits, what it means to actually engage in oral sex. We need to know that. The very first thing I must tell you is it is right. There's nothing wrong in a married couple getting involved in oral sex. Nothing. I know that there's a lot of religionists, there's a lot of people with all manner of doctrines when it comes to sex. They say all manner of things, but I want to let you know that there is nothing dirty about your woman. There's nothing dirty about your man. It is God that created her, and whatever God has put in her is good. There's nothing dirty about it. However, there are people who are dirty by themselves because they allow dirt on themselves. But if you want to engage in oral sex, you must know that that dirtiness is not there. You must try as much as possible to wash yourself as a woman, wash yourself as a man. Make sure that both of you are very clean, that there's no dirt inside of you. And for a woman taking her bath, most women, when they take their bath, they think that they have to use soap to wash their vagina. No, it does not follow, because using soap may cause more damage, because soap contains some chemicals that may be dangerous to your privacy, that may be dangerous to your vagina. So it's not necessary for you to use soap. When you are cleaning your vagina, you only use soap on the pubic regions, because inside the vagina there are antibodies that are responsible for keeping the vagina clean. So you don't need to use soap inside. But as a man, you also need to clean yourself. Make sure you are very clean. It is very good that you are both clean if you want to engage in oral sex. Secondly, you must also, as a couple, make sure that none of you is carrying a venereal disease, an STD, sexually transmitted disease. No gonorrhea, no syphilis, no staphylococcus, nothing that will endanger one another in terms of diseases or certain. So make sure that both of you are healthy. Very, very important indeed. And the third thing that you must also know is that there are some people who are inhibited by their backgrounds, possibly from the teachings, the earlier teachings they had, from their parents they came from certain families they come from. Such things was looked as more of a taboo. You will need to do a lot of things to awaken that person and to draw that person out of the cocoon. If you discover such a person, you may do more work. But I doubt if there is any woman who will not like to be tickled by her man. Most women, 95% of women, will love that. So all you need to do is to make sure that your woman loves what you want to do. She's not encumbered. She's not restricting you from doing it because she enjoys it. So that's what you have to make sure about. If those three things are there, then there's nothing wrong in you as a married couple engaging in oral sex. Nothing at all. Before I go on, I want you to look at the red button by my side, click on it, and get subscribed to this channel. This channel is mainly for couples who want to make a success of their marriage. And I want you to be part of it. We have done so many videos already, and we are still doing much more. Now, the area I want to get into, how do you actually engage in oral? What essentially is oral sex? Essentially, oral sex is about using your tongue or your mouth or your lips to pleasure one another. As a couple, you can use it on the lips, you can use it on the back, you can use it on your buttocks, you can use it anywhere. But essentially, what we are talking about is using it as a man in the vagina. And how do you do that? As a man, you must realize that it takes a woman a whole longer time to get warmed up for sex. Why most men can get warmed up for sex in the first 2 or 3 minutes, a woman can take as much time as 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get fully warmed up. So when you want to engage in oral sex, you don't go directly into the vagina. You can start from the tongue, you can start from the lips, you can start from the back of the neck, from her ears. You can start licking all those things. You can start sucking at her breast. You can start doing all those things. All the areas that are called erogenous zones, parts of her body that are very sensitive. You got to know that. one of these days I will do a full video on the erogenous zones of a woman and that of a man, so that you need to know that there are places where you touch a man or a woman that gets such a person very, very excited. So these are the places where you start. You continue doing that until she fully warmed up. Then you gradually move down to the down region, and then you begin to take her even from her buttocks, even from the back of her backside, and then you turn her over, and then from there you engage her between her feet, and even at the back of her knee. There are so many places you touch, and she's running wild. And then gradually you now come to the private part, and then you start from, you don't go directly to the clitoris. No, you take it gradually. It's a gradual process. And then you first of all come upon the lips of the vagina. You begin to caress the lips. You begin to do that with your tongue. Because the tongue is very soft. The tongue is very sensitive. The tongue has a flickering nature. It has a sensitive thing. So as you're using the tongue, it gets her more and more excited. Then you take down the whole lips of the vagina. You take it, you lick it, you suck it, you pick them one by one. As you are doing that, the vagina, it begins to thicken. And as it's thickening, it's getting bigger. And before you know it, you are able to open it up, and then you go into the inner walls and you start taking them one by one. You take it. It's a gradual process. And as you're doing that, you now locate the clitoris, which is at the hood, the up of the hood. Then it's like a small penis. It comes out like that. It's like, like a small penis. And it also hardens like a penis. When it is sensitized, it gets hardened. That is what you now use your tongue and start flickering it. You start flickering it just like a butterfly. As you are flickering it up and down, down and up, side by side, you discover that the woman is moaning. She's full of ecstasy. She's running wild. You hold her. And as you are doing that, you can now, when you want to use your hand, your fingers, you must make sure, of course, that the finger is well trimmed. It doesn't have nails sticking out. The finger must be well trimmed and very, very clean, so that you can insert the finger and start using it along with your tongue to get her more ignited and more on fire. That is what it is all about. As you are doing that, you can put your finger inside of her, about 3 inches inside of her. You are able to locate a particular place just at the inside of the vagina that we call the G spot. It is a very sensitive area, very soft and sensitive area. Then you begin to use that your finger to tickle that, and along with tickling the clitoris, before you know it, the woman is very wild. She can do anything. She's crazy. And as you are doing that, of course, be ready, because as the tension is getting higher and higher, there's the tendency for her to go into orgasm, even multiple orgasm, to the level that if you are not holding her way, she can hit her whole vagina upon your face. So that is how it is. And it's a very exciting moment. It's a very exciting moment. This is your woman. There's nothing that is dirty about her. There's nothing that is dirty about your activities. Be free to do this. It's the joy of the whole thing. It's in sexual intercourse that a man and a woman becomes one. So because you are one, there's nothing dirty about you. There's nothing dirty about her. If you have gotten the woman so activated, there's the tendency for the woman also to pull you to herself, and then take your penis and put it inside her mouth and begin to suck at it. Oh, it can run you wild. And as you are doing that, before you know it, you are also highly, tensed up. If you decide to go further by inserting your penis into her, there's a tendency for both of you to achieve orgasm the same period. I love oral sex, for one thing. It gets the woman to the level whereby she's ready for her man. Because as a man, you can be ready for orgasm in the first 2 minutes of entering the woman. But if you stay outside of the woman and you get her to that level in the next 15, in the next 16, in the next 18 minutes, I can tell you that by the time you insert your penis inside of her, orgasm will come naturally for both of you. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful exercise. And for couples out there, please don't feel anything about going into oral sex. It's a wonderful thing. And it's certified. Sealed and delivered. It's certified. Before you check out, please look at this red button by my side. Click on it and get subscribed. And as you do so, you will be, you'll be part of this channel, and you will, of course, be receiving our broadcast every week. I appreciate God, and I thank you for giving time to this edition, and you are blessed. Have a wonderful time. And if you did enjoy it, please give me a comment below. I would actually love to see your comments.